Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Sexy Bitch podcast. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. If you're new to me, welcome. Okay, if it's the first time you're listening. If you are a fan and you listen to everything and read all the things that I post, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Now, today's episode, we are jumping right into what is a sexy bitch? Why do I even want to explain what it is? Because it's someone the other day commented on a Facebook post of mine. And I've been sharing my weight loss journey, telling people that it's the easiest and the least resistance that I've had to losing weight. And it's fallen off like the easiest way that it ever has before. And she said, well, does being a sexy bitch mean that you need to be skinny? And that's what I want to talk about today, because absolutely not, right? It's not about, yes, of course, we want to lose weight. We want to look our best. There's certain goals that we have, right? Certain body goals, certain weight loss goals. However, it's so much more than that. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I preach deeper than just weight. Weight is very superficial, right? Yes, we want weight loss goals. We want to weigh a certain amount, but it's deeper than that. It's how we want to feel about ourselves. It's how we want to show up in our lives. We want to have more confidence. We want to show up in our relationships better. We want to have more confidence in our careers and what we do. Okay, as women, this is what it means. It's not about the weight loss and fitting into a size 8, size 6, size 4 pair of jeans. It's about what it means to you and the type of woman that you are. Okay, what I teach deeper than just the weight loss. To get to the weight sustainability, you've got to stop turning to food for reasons that aren't physical hunger. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you what a sexy bitch is today. Okay, because again, it's not a weight size. It's a way of life. It's a way of living. Okay, just because like a person that loses weight isn't necessarily a sexy bitch. You know what I mean? So I'm going to explain to you how you lose weight in a sexy way. Let me bring up my notes and we're going to get started. All right. This is really important. Really important. Hope everyone's had an amazing week so far as well. So anybody can lose weight, but to do it in a way that's sexy, that's rare, right? A sexy bitch takes radical responsibility for her life, her reality now, and her desired reality. This one's important, okay? Takes radical responsibility for her life. Here's the thing. When most people try to lose weight in the way that you're taught with the diet industry, it's, hey, let's lose weight in a way that's just the quickest way, in a way that I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to just, follow external authority. You tell me what to do. You tell me what to eat. You tell me how to eat. You tell me when to eat. You tell me how many grams of protein to eat, and I'll do what you say. And so I don't have to worry about my life. No, this is about taking radical responsibility for the weight that you are now, for the way that you've been showing up with food and your weight, and being like, I don't like that I've been showing up this way. That's not cool with me. I also know that it's because of particular reasons. I also know that I'm going to now do something radically different that I've ever done and take responsibility for my weight and my food and my relationship with all of it, versus playing the victim or trying to blame your spouse or blaming your parents or blaming anybody else but you. Okay. And it's not about blaming yourself either. It's about taking radical responsibility. And there's a difference between blame and taking radical responsibility. Blaming yourself is victim mode of, oh, poor me. And responsibility is, I put myself in this position through my behaviors and my actions and my thoughts and my beliefs and my feelings. And I'm going to be the one to get myself out of it. It's a commitment to change. It's a commitment to changing yourself on all levels, taking radical responsibility. That's fucking sexy to me. Okay. That's sexy to anyone. Anyone that's taking radical responsibility for their shit, you cannot tell me that's not sexy. And that's what I mean by being a sexy bitch. It means you're showing up with an attitude of, I work on myself. I take radical responsibility for every part of my life. That's sexy. And that's what we're about in the Sexy Bitch Academy. That's what we're about with the women that work with me. Okay. A sexy bitch prioritizes her relationship with herself first, with a focus on self-love. Okay. Because I guarantee if you're overweight, if you're eating your feelings, you're not taking care of yourself. You're not putting yourself first. You're a people pleaser and you're putting other people ahead of you. And that is not serving for you. Okay. You're putting other people ahead of yourself because you feel like that's the only way you can get your needs met. That's the only way people will love you. That's the only way people will hang around. And that's just not true. Okay. You've got to start putting yourself first. And especially you mums out there where it's like, I got to take care of my kids first. They learn from you. If you don't take care of yourself, there's nothing that you have to give them. Okay. At the end of the day, you're not giving the best of yourself to them if you're giving all of yourself to them. Does that make sense? Okay. When you take care of yourself, that adds to your life. Okay. We're going to talk about energy in the future podcasts, but when you do things that take care of you, that adds to your life, it actually gives you more energy to play with them more, to be there with them more, to develop a deeper, intimate relationship with them. Otherwise, you're just giving them scraps of you. Okay. And they don't want that. You don't want that. A sexy bitch has high standards for her life and refuses to settle for mediocre, safe, or just getting by. Here's the thing. The women that struggle with weight and food, they just think this is how it is for the rest of my life. I'm just going to, like, this is what it is for me. I'm just going to go to my 9 to 5, live the life that was laid out for me, the one that I'm comfortable with, because at least I have money coming in. At least, my relationships, but oh well. No, we don't settle, because when you settle, you eat. Okay. When your life is unpleasurable, what happens? You turn to food to eat, because your life, there's no pleasure. The only pleasure that you get is from food. No wonder you feel sad when you're full, but you keep eating. You got nothing to look forward to after you eat. Of course, you're not going to want to stop eating. Okay. We've got to take radical responsibility and actually look at, no, I want better for my life and I'm going to fucking go after it. Okay. And each of these things that I'm telling you, like, I create, and I can create podcasts around each and every one, but I just want to go through them quickly with you, because again, a sexy bitch is not about the way that you look, it's a way of life. And the way that you look is a side effect of you being the woman that you want to show up as. Your weight will reflect that. Your weight will reflect that. Okay. Because I guarantee someone that's overweight, obese, they're not taking care of themselves. A person that loves themselves does not overeat. A person that loves themselves does not stuff themselves full of food. Okay? Just don't. You're doing the best that you can to help yourself, but it's not being loving. That's not a loving action that you're doing. Okay? So a sexy bitch keeps her word to herself and others, even when it's challenging or she doesn't feel like it. Okay? Keeps her word to herself. How much of the time do you just let yourself down each day? You say you're going to do something, you don't fucking do it, because you're setting your bar too high. You're setting these standards that are impossible to meet, these perfectionistic standards. Like, yes, I'm going to follow this and this meal plan, and then you can't follow it. And then at the end of the day, you're like, oh, you don't trust that a meal plan, a diet plan, another strategy like the one that I use in the Sexy Bitch Academy is going to work, because you failed, so quote unquote failed so many times. But it hasn't been that you failed, it's that you're setting yourself up to fail from the very start. Okay. You got to keep your word to yourself, which means you got to start small. And I'm going to explain this in future podcasts. A sexy bitch uses her emotions as guides that move her forward in her life, instead of using them as limitations that keep her stuck. Okay, this is another one. Instead of eating your feelings, a sexy bitch uses her emotions to actually guide her life and be like, I'm feeling sad right now. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to see where that comes from. I do so much emotional work, like emotion work with my clients. It's one of my favorite things to do, because I think the world does not understand emotions enough, and why emotions are there, and thinks that there's quote unquote negative emotions we have to get rid of. We don't know how to deal with them when they come up. So we just eat. We do the best that we can with the tools that we have developed from childhood, the ones we've been taught. I'm just going to eat my feelings, just going to distract myself, just going to overwork, just going to overeat. But no, a sexy bitch uses her emotions as guides, because every emotion is call to action, as I said on a previous podcast. Okay. Your emotions don't need to be limitations. When you feel sad, when you feel stuck, when you feel frustrated, that doesn't need to stop you. You can actually go within and actually use that information that your body's given you to move you forward, instead of keep you where you are. Feeling hopeless does not mean that you are hopeless, and hopelessness doesn't need to keep you where you are. You get to use it for your greater good, for your greater vision in your life. Okay. A sexy bitch moves from a place of desire, not desperation. I don't want anyone taking my course because they have to, because they need to work with me. No, This is about I desire to better my life. This is a change of attitude, guys. This is a mindset shift. I desire to change my life. I deserve the very best for myself. And so I'm committing to this from a place of love, not from a place of desperation. When you make decisions that way, you're going to see results. When you make decisions like, oh, I'm desperate to change because who I am is I'm a piece of shit. Like that's not the attitude that we want. You can't shift from that place. Okay. We got to move with love in mind. We got to move connected to ourselves, not wanting to disappear and shove ourselves away until we look the way we want to look, until we behave the way we want to behave. That's not what love is. Okay. A sexy bitch feels her feelings instead of disconnecting, distracting, or denying them. Very important. We got to do the feeling work, the emotion work. A sexy bitch has the uncomfortable conversations so she can have incredible relationships. Okay. How many of you that are overweight, that are obese, you're not wanting to have the conversation, so you eat instead? I don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation with my partner, so I'm going to eat my feelings instead, numb them out. I don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation with my friend, so I'm just going to eat my feelings, numb them out. No, we actually deal with our feelings. How you deal with your feelings in a sexy bitch way is not through food. Food is only there to fuel you for your life. It's not there to help you deal with your emotions. Okay? As much as your brain is telling you food is going to help us with our emotions, it's not. You've got to be able to understand that. So then when that comes up for you, be like, oh, my brain's telling me to turn to food right now, but I know that food is not the solution to my emotional pain. Like the pain is still going to be there after. And then I'm going to have two problems to deal with. I'm going to have the problem of being overweight and obese and not, feeling bigger than I want to be. And then I'm also going to have the original problem of the emotional pain. So guess what? You get to just have one problem and we can work through that together. Okay. A sexy bitch seeks out the support she needs when she desires to up-level her life instead of letting her ego get in the way and doing it all on her own. Okay. I went through this when I was struggling and sometimes I still have to catch myself. Like we tend to want to isolate, especially with food problems. There's a lot of shame around it. Right? A lot of stigma around it, a lot of shame. We want to hide, we want to isolate. But the best thing you can do is reach out for support. Okay. Join the free group, join the Sexy Bitch Hub Facebook group, join the Sexy Bitch Academy. It's really important that you find these resources of people that are struggling just like you, people that can support you and help you, that are going through what you're going through, because we always think our problems are very unique and that no one else is going through what we're going through. But it's a lie that your brain is telling you, and it's just not true. There's nothing that you can tell me when you come to me with your struggles about food and weight that I have not heard before. I promise you. And you're not a unique snowflake in this way. You are freaking amazing and wonderful, but you are not unique in this way in terms of your eating problems, your weight problems. Okay, which is a good thing in this way. It means that we get to shift. Okay, we get to shift it. You get to shift it if you desire to. A sexy bitch moves forward with fear instead of allowing it to swallow her whole. I know that you're fearful about trying a new program, about trying again in terms of losing weight, this journey again, and it feels like it's fearful because it's failed before. You spent a shit ton of money, a shit ton of energy. You've invested a lot of emotion in it. And so it can feel, there's a lot of fear that can come up. Allow it to be there, but move anyway. What are you going to do? Get to the end of your life and not make moves again because you're afraid? Is that the way that you really want to live? Allow fear to be there and move with it. Okay? Because fear doesn't mean stop, like you should stop. It's okay to let fear ride shotgun next to you and keep going. Keep going. Okay? Understand why the fear is there. It's there to protect you. Doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong or that you shouldn't try again. Okay? It's just there to protect you. A sexy bitch doesn't give up on herself when shit gets hard. She digs her heels in and commits deeper than she ever has before. That's a fucking sexy bitch. Like, okay, this didn't work. Let me try again. Let me try a different way. Let me tweak this. Let me tweak that. I'm going to keep going. That's a sexy bitch. A sexy bitch is the author of her life instead of the extra in everybody else's. This is about creating your vision for your life, because when you don't do that, you'll turn to food. When you don't live life on your terms, doing what you want to do, being the woman that you want to be, being your fullest self, reaching that fullest potential, not that you're ever going to reach it, but really going after what sets your soul on fire, you're going to eat food. Okay? You've got to be the author of your life. A sexy bitch believes in herself even when nobody else does. A sexy bitch keeps going until her vision matches her reality. When you don't see what you want to see on the scale, when you don't see when how it looks in your business, the clients aren't coming or whatever it is, it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to hold my vision because it's coming. I'm doing all the right things, so it's coming. Not when you step on the scale, you don't see the number and then you're like, fuck this. Like, I'm not going to, like, I just see one day after, like the scales, it doesn't matter. If you know that you're doing the right things and you remain consistent, you will see results, but you've got to remain consistent. Success is consistency. A sexy bitch keeps going. Yep, a sexy bitch uses her failures as leverage and momentum towards her goals instead of using them as reasons why she can't succeed. Okay. I don't believe there's failures. I believe when something doesn't work, it's like, okay, like if you end up having some overeats in the nighttime, it's not about, so fuck this diet, fuck this food plan, It's about, okay, let me understand why that overeat happened. Let me do some inventory on it. Let me reflect on that. What about that do I feel like I need to tweak for next week, for tomorrow? It's about tweaking. It's not about overhauling everything every time something doesn't work. Does that make sense? You can't just go overhauling everything. That's creating drama in your relationship with food and weight, unnecessary drama, and you're sabotaging yourself that way. It's not about making these massive changes. It's about tweaking and tweaking and tweaking and gathering more information each week and tweaking for the next week and gathering more information and then moving forward, seeing what works, seeing what needs to be tweaked. And then you'll know what works for you and your body over a certain amount of time. You'll know what foods work for your body. You'll know your fullness, what that feels like, what your hunger feels like, when you need to stop eating, how much is enough food. This takes time. Okay. But you don't just throw in the towel when things don't look like they're working out in one day. A sexy bitch always makes sure that what she's believing and thinking is aligned to her vision. If it is not, she does the diligent daily work in changing it. Okay, you must do the mindset mastery work. That is important for weight loss. This isn't taught in the diet industry. You've got to work on your mindset, how you think. If you don't think you're going to be able to lose weight, if you don't think weight loss is possible for you, well, that's the lens through which you're living your life through. Those are the glasses you're putting on. You're going to sabotage yourself. Reality reflects your beliefs. You've got to align your beliefs with what it is, with your vision. Okay. You've got to be able to be conscious of your thoughts. What thoughts are coming in during the day? Are those thoughts that you want to be subscribed to, or you want to unsubscribe them? You have to make sure the thoughts that are coming in, the thoughts that you're digesting, are ones that you want to be there. And if they're not, you've got to do the work in shape shifting them, up leveling them, upgrading them to ones that feel better. Okay. A sexy bitch speaks kindly to herself instead of talking to herself like an asshole. Okay. You've got to do the work in making sure that the way that you talk to yourself is kind, it's motivating. You're your own cheerleader. You've got to be your best cheerleader. When's the last time you validated yourself and you said, good job, I'm so proud of you? We do so much proud work in the Sexy Bitch Academy with my members. I'm like, make sure you're doing, 10 small wins at the end of the day. Sometimes they can't come up with 10. I'm like, then you're thinking too big. You've got to be able to praise yourself because we can't wait for others to validate us, to be proud of us. They've got their own lives. Yeah, they're not wake up just to praise us, just to validate us. That's our job. And that will release endorphins, that will release dopamine. So then you'll want to keep doing amazing things. It may not feel as good as other people validating us at first, but it will start to once we start doing that. Okay. So this is what it means to be a sexy bitch. Okay. It's not a sexy bitch to complain about the weight that you are, to be a victim and be like, oh, things are never going to change. Oh, that won't work for me. Oh, I've tried everything. It's not a sexy bitch to continue to be in the same place that you've been for the last 20 years. That's not sexy. So being a sexy bitch is so much bigger than weight loss. It's about who you are being. And that's what I want to work on with you. That's what I want to work on with you, because when you become that sexy bitch, your weight will reflect that automatically. Okay, because a sexy bitch does not overeat. She wants to feel her feelings. She wants to feel good. She wants to reach her greatest potential, right? It's not about calories. It is, but it isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like things will align once you become the version of yourself and you do the things that a sexy bitch would do. Naturally, you won't want to overeat because your life is full. Okay, so it's so much more than that. When you become the sexy bitch, weight loss is a side effect, but it's not a prerequisite to be thin. Okay, it's not about that. But once you find yourself becoming that version of you that you desire to be in feeling, in thought, and action, right? And practicing being that version of you, it's inevitable that your weight shifts and shape shifts in accordance with that. Okay, so this is the deeper work that is more important, that results in weight loss. But we don't start with the weight loss. So we don't, if weight loss is our goal, right? But we don't look at it head on and face it head on, as in, we don't spend too much time in the academy with my one-on-one clients. We don't spend too much time on food. We really don't. Nutrition mastery is a pillar of the sexy bitch roadmap. Yes, it's important. Obviously, what you eat is going to be important. How much you eat, making sure that you eat when you're hungry, you stop when you're satisfied, of course. But bigger than that, it's that we put so much weight on food to be there for us emotionally, to take care of us emotionally, to fill up our lives when our lives don't feel full. And that's the deeper work that we need to work on. Right? When we strip all that away, when we're no longer relying on food to do those things for us, food gets to just be food. And that's when it gets to be easy. And there's no resistance because you're doing the deeper work, and your emotions aren't tied to food. Your pleasure isn't tied to food. Your intimacy isn't tied to food. You're not getting all of your needs met through food any longer, apart from the need to eat because you need fuel to survive. That's the purpose of food. Okay, but we've tied so many other things to it, and that's what we need to deconstruct and shift in order for weight loss to occur. Weight loss will occur naturally once you separate those things. All right, so if you want to do deeper work with me, the Sexy Bitch Academy opens for enrollment mid-August for 5 days only. Jump into that. Otherwise, I have 3-month one-on-one packages. You can work with me, message me, email me, mal@beyondbinge.com. Otherwise, you can message me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want me to cover specific questions, you can also email me, mal@beyondbinge.com. If you have particular topics you want me to cover or episodes, you're also welcome to send through them as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.